Hello fellow traders, this is the BeachBum Trader, and today I want to share with you whether it's time to take a bite out of Apple Inc., Apple. And really I want to focus more on some of my opinions, some of my thoughts on the future of Apple. Jim Cramer says Apple's a stock to own, not trade. We'll see what we think if that's true, and we can see if Apple is a good stock to trade right now. Is it a good stock to buy for the long term right now? And what do we think the future of Apple is? So I'll just share with you my opinions. Again, this is not financial advice. It's for educational and entertainment purposes only, but we hope that this will help you. So I want to start on the home page of Apple and just take a quick perusal on what we see there. And what I want to point out is we see a lot of consumer products. And again, I'm going to share more of my ideas, opinions on Apple at the end of the video, so I hope you'll stick around for that. But let's just look at what they're focusing on their homepage. You can see the iPhone. Okay, that's their biggest selling product, and it's really the core of their business is the iPhone. Then you've got the watch, the Apple Watch. Okay. I won't go into a lot of detail. Is kind of, they don't do a lot of sales. It really hasn't taken off probably as well as they thought. And then you notice now with the watch, particularly, they're focusing on healthcare. And Tim Cook a while ago told Jim Cramer there he sees the future of Apple is in healthcare, data, giving you data on the watch, etc. They got AirPods again. What I'm trying to point out is their focus on consumer products, okay? And that really these are commodity products. Now, they're also starting to make a lot of money in their services surrounding these products, but again, it's all based on these consumer products, the platforms, and then selling services, selling accessories, add-ons around these products. So I'll say more about that at the end of the video. We'll dig into the technical analysis, do our due diligence on the current stock as of, this is the 26th of February 2022. So we'll look at where the Apple stock is right now, whether it's something we want to trade, own, etc. But then let's talk about the future of Apple. Is this something we want to invest in for the long run? The content of this video was produced by BeachBum Trading. We hope you will choose to also join us in the BeachBum Trading community and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Visit us at our homepage at beachbumtrading.com, the bum without the U. Similarly on Twitter, BeachBum Trading, bum without the U. On Facebook and in our BeachBum Trading Facebook group. Please follow us on Pinterest and on Instagram. All of the links to our social media sites will be included in the description box below, and we hope you will choose to subscribe to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Thank you. Okay, now let's look at the profile, all the analysis, do our due diligence for Apple Inc. in Chartmill. You should be able to find our affiliate link directly to this Apple profile in the description box below. I like Chartmill because it's quick and easy for a quick due diligence. We can see from a technical analysis rating right now as of, again, the 26th of February 2022. It's kind of a neutral technical analysis rating. Setup is kind of poor. We can see the chart. It looks like, it broke down through support and bounced back. Again, this was right after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, so we had the market pressure down, got a bounce. It's still sitting below its averages. We'll see that in more detail in a larger blow up of the chart in a second. From a fundamental analysis, we see the valuation is poor. Profitability is very high. They generate a lot of cash flow, and we'll see that as well when we dig into the financials. Growth's neutral, health's pretty neutral. They do pay a small dividend, and again, they just had earnings on the 27th of January. Their next earnings are April, so we can see the results of their last earnings report. and how the market reacted to that. So now if we quickly look in detail at a chart, you see again they bounced down through support, bounced off an average, recovered a little bit, but you see it's pretty range bound lately, sitting under the longer term average. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see, you know, it ran up, you know, there's the pandemic dip, and then it ran up. It's a FANG stock. It's, you know, it's in heavy, you know, they broke $1 trillion or so in market cap. Huge company, very big market cap company. If we zoom out to a monthly very quickly, we can see it's, you know, it's gone up quite a bit. So it looks pretty good, you know, from where it's come from to where it's gotten to. You can see how much higher it is off of its average. So let's see where is it going in the future. So if we look at a quick technical analysis, we can see the setup is poor. It's a 3. We see there's yearly performance is positive, best performing stocks in the technology sector, etc. So it has done very well, but right now its setup is very poor. So right now, from what we're seeing so far, it says don't buy it right now, right? It says technical neutral, setup is poor. So as of this date, that data is saying, yeah, you don't want to buy it right now, you want to wait till the setup is a little better if you're doing swing trading, day trading, etc. If you're a long-term investor, you may not care about the setup. From a fundamental standpoint, it's a little above, you know, neutral, so it's 6, a little positive, so that's not bad, but it's not great. They're very profitable. They generate tons of cash flow. Profit margins very high, etc. So again, those are the positives for Apple, is their ability to generate cash. They sell products, you know, globally, generate a ton of cash. They're sitting on a bunch of cash. If we look at valuation, book value is not very good. Price to earnings, you know, it's overvalued. Right now, you'd be paying, you know, an excessive price. So again, all this data is saying right this second is not a great time to buy Apple. Growth is a little positive. So this is saying, you know, they going forward, they don't have a lot of growth potential. They have some, but this would not be, you know, what you'd call your top growth stocks. Health, Altman Z, of course, they've got a ton of money, a ton of cash, so they're very solvent. That's not an issue. But, you know, they've got short-term obligations. They have quite a bit of debt. I think they've issued sizable bonds, etc. Again, we're trying to do just a quick due diligence, so I'm not going to dig too much into those details. They do pay a little bit of a dividend. It has grown. But the yield's not very good, you know, so there are better dividend stocks. You wouldn't really buy this for the dividend. So now we will quickly see what the analysts have to say about Apple. Very positive, 84% buy, a bunch of strong buys. Mean price target of 196. Again, analysts are pretty bullish on Apple, have been for a long time. It's a well-known company, well covered. You know, stock market loves it. It's run way up. So now we'll dig a little bit more in some of the financials in Webull and look at the stock chart again. See if this is something near term if we want to own, and then let's talk about the future of Apple. Okay, now I brought up the profile of Apple in the stock screen in the online browser version of Webull. You can get 2 or more free stocks with our affiliate link for Webull, which you should find in the description box below. I like this stock screen in Webull for the bottom panel. I mean, we can see the charts, and I've got support and resistance pivot points turned on, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But what I really like is this lower panel where we can see more information about the company. So if you click on that lower panel, we can see a quick view of the financials. Again, I prefer this graphical view of their financials in Webull. So we can see from an income standpoint, they have beaten expectations, which is good. They kind of met there, but that's positive. Balance sheet, you know, they a little below recently, but generally it's okay. Cash flow, again, it's generally positive. They beat expectations. They generate a lot of cash. And financial ratios is mixed. So their performance has been generally positive to mixed. See income statement, their net income. They had a big increase of fourth quarter of 2021. Okay, so that was probably holiday sales. Revenue, again, a big bump recently. And operating income. Balance sheet, their total assets are increasing recently. That's good. Liabilities, though, have also increased, so their debt to asset it's gone up, come down a little bit recently. Again, cash flow has been very positive, but then their operating cash flow dropped off a little bit in first quarter. Investing is not their business really. Financing, so it was negative. It's recovered a bit. You can see whether the analysts from Webull, here it says 45 of them, mostly buys, some strong buys, some holds, no sells. We see their current price is there. The high price target's 215, average 192, so a little bit of room, but not a lot. You can see there's, it's off the mean, off the median. So it says it's kind of overpriced again. Short interest, I don't expect them to be heavily shorted. It's going to be heavily institutionally owned, so that's a positive. And then we can see large, again, institutions, large owners own quite a bit. It looks like there's been some outflow recently. Again, they're highly priced, so you probably had some profit taking. And they're going to be in a lot of ETFs because, again, it's a FANG stock, very large cap stock, so a lot of ETFs are also holding Apple. So, and you can find out which one's in this. So again, I really like Webull for that. We see press releases, corporate actions. This will tell you when they pay their dividends, when the next dividend is, the ex-dividend date again. You can see options. Again, it's going to have options, so you can write covered calls against it, generate your own kind of dividend with writing covered calls against it. And here's their basic profile information. So again, I hope that helps give you a picture of their finances, their fundamental analysis, etc. Now let's just briefly look at their long-term chart. In Webull, we can see the run-up and then the recent decline. It recovered a bit. Now the market is pushing, it's a large cap, large piece of the market indices as well. So it's pulling the index down because it's so large, but it's going to follow that trend. And then we see it broke down and bounced. But again, recently we can see it's now in a downtrend. The markets are in a downtrend. We saw the setup wasn't good. So again, from a short-term swing trading type standpoint, you could go very short-term swing on the bounce, etc. You can always day trade. It's going to be highly liquid, etc. It's a very large cap, so you can day trade it, scalp it, etc. Swinging right now, it'd have to be very short term. A long term swing, it's going to be, you could short it going down, so that's an option. But let's talk about the long term future of Apple. Is it really a stock to own and not trade like Jim Cramer purports? Okay, now I just want to quickly share some of my opinions, views on the current state of Apple, its future, etc. Maybe I should do a further deep dive due diligence or a SWOT analysis on Apple. If you're interested in that, please contact us through the links on our social media sites that you'll see in a minute, through our Discord, which you'll also see in a minute. And we can, if you're interested in more information, please let me know. We can go into that. But just to make it really quick, some of the positives, negatives, opportunities, and questions outstanding on the future of Apple in terms of, is it something you want to take a bite of now, to own, to invest invest in long term, and what's the risk. So some of the positives for Apple is its brand loyalty. I mean, people that buy Apple, they buy all the Apple products, and they spend ridiculous amounts of money on Apple products. And that's their strength, is they built this ecosystem. They're interconnecting their products and services, so people buy the services, they buy all the products, they buy all the upgrades, and that's where Apple's making their money. Another one of their strengths is their size. You know, they're a multi-trillion-dollar company. They're huge. And they generate tons of cash, and they're sitting on tons of cash. So those are, the positives behind Apple. When they come out with a new product, they do have a customer base that's going to buy that product or those services, and they can raise the prices, and those loyal customers, as long as they have the money, and they tend to be, upper middle, upper class customers, so they're probably going to buy those products. Now, very quickly, some of the negatives about Apple, some of their vulnerabilities is how much they sell in China. If they get cut off from those sales in China, either the Chinese government does it, or if we put sanctions on or whatever, and they can't sell in China, they're going to lose a lot of money. Also, a lot of their manufacturing components are done in China. And if they get, as we've seen, supply chain disruptions hurt them. If they get cut off from that supply, again, they're at very high risk, and that they're very vulnerable to that. They're also vulnerable to supplies of rare earth elements. Rare earth elements are used in all the smartphones, most of the smartphones, a lot of their other products, and if that supply is disrupted or cut off from either China or Russia, which are main sources of rare earth elements, again, they're very vulnerable to that, and that will hit their company and their stock price. They're also heavily dependent on consumer discretionary spending. Again, their products tend to be upper middle, upper class, but middle class people, are they really going to keep spending thousands of dollars on iPhones and iPhone upgrades if their gas is $5 a gallon and they can't afford to buy gas or buy food? Are they really going to buy the next upgrade of their iPhone? So it's a commodity, and they're also very vulnerable to price, undercutting from Chinese, etc. You got Samsung, etc. Android phones. They're cheaper smartphones, cheaper versions of the products that they're selling. So they're totally relying on this brand loyalty to continue to succeed. And I think there's some significant vulnerabilities there that are risks to the company and therefore the stock price. Some opportunities, they're talking about coming out with some AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality type glasses. One of their other strengths is in their design, their creative design, the user experience oriented design. So, there is a big opportunity that if they came out with AR glasses, it might be a big hit. Also, since they own this platform, they've got the smartphones, etc., they could be a big player in the metaverse if they come out with the products, the platform products to support play in the metaverse. I'm going to say it's a negative, this Apple Car getting into autonomous vehicles, in my humble opinion, I think is a mistake. They're going to have to spend tons of money. They're way behind the curve to Tesla, to Google, Waymo, etc. I think this is a big mistake. If they continue to sink money in that area, to me, that's a reason to stay away. Again, my opinion. So to conclude, something to listen to is, what are they going to do with all their cash? They have a lot of cash. They could acquire companies, although they're not like Facebook. They don't tend to just acquire companies that already have the products. They feel like they have to come out with their own version of each of these products. That's very costly, takes a lot of time. When they come out with a product, it's great. Users love it. They tend to be high priced, so again, it's how much are consumers willing to spend for an Apple Car, and how big is that market really? So again, hopefully this information is all helpful to you. Hopefully you can make a decision as to given all this information, is Apple a company that you want to take a bite of? Do you want to own it for the long term, or do you just want to, benefit from the various swings and take advantage of some of these opportunities? So I hope this all helps. Let us know in the comments. Contact us on social media if you want to discuss, if you have differences of opinion or whatever, additional thoughts, let us know. And again, we hope this all helps, and have a great day. We also cordially want to invite you to our new BeachBum Trading Community Discord server, where we can have discussions on all topics related to trading, success in trading, investing, etc. You can see alerts when we make trades, changes to our watch lists, etc. So again, please join us in the new BeachBum Trading Community Discord server. You should be able to find a link in the description box below. You can also find a link in the social media category on our webpage, beachbumtrading.com, without the bum without the U, and also in the link section on the About page of our YouTube channel, etc. So again, we look forward to seeing you in the BeachBum Trading Community Discord server soon. Wave and say hello.